Two young Dutch women vanished without a trace in the dense jungles of Panama. For 10 weeks, their families searched desperately. Then, a local woman found a backpack by a riverbank. Inside were two phones, a camera, and over 90 photographs. But the backpack wasn't the worst part. What those phones revealed would haunt investigators for years, and what they found weeks later would raise more questions than answers. This is Deep True Crime. Lisanne Froon, 22, and Chris Krimmers, 21, were best friends from the Netherlands. Bright, adventurous, excited about life. They'd arrived in Panama to volunteer at a children's school and perfect their Spanish. One morning in early spring, they told their host family they were going hiking on El Pianista Trail, a popular path that winds through cloud forest just outside the town of Boquete. It was supposed to be a simple day hike, 2, maybe 3 hours. They'd be back for dinner. Late that morning, a local dog owner saw them on the trail, smiling, taking photos. Everything seemed normal. By early afternoon, they'd reached the summit. They took a photo there, laughing, arms around each other, the jungle stretching endlessly behind them. That was the last time anyone saw them alive. When they didn't return that evening, their host family wasn't immediately worried. Maybe they'd met other travelers. Maybe they lost track of time. But by the next morning, panic set in. The girls always stayed in touch. They were responsible, organized. A massive search began. Local volunteers, police, indigenous guides, helicopters, search dogs. They combed the jungle for weeks. Nothing. No trace, no signs of struggle, no clothing, no bodies. It was as if the jungle had swallowed them whole. 10 weeks later, a local woman was walking along the bank of the Culebra River, miles from where the girls had last been seen, when she noticed something blue wedged between rocks. A backpack. It was Lisanne's, still zipped shut. And strangely, everything inside was completely intact and dry, despite supposedly being in the jungle for over 2 months. Inside were 2 cell phones, a camera, sunglasses, and $83 in cash. Investigators immediately examined the phones and camera. What they found sent chills down their spines. Starting just hours after that last summit photo, there were multiple failed emergency calls. First from Lisanne's iPhone, then from Chris's Samsung. They dialed 112, the Dutch emergency number, then 911, the universal emergency code. Every call failed, no signal. They were too deep in the jungle. But here's what made investigators' blood run cold. The pattern of calls. The first day, multiple attempts, then nothing. The second day, the phones were turned on again. More attempts. Then powered down to save battery. The third day, the same pattern. For 11 days, the phones were powered on and off. Someone was trying to preserve battery life. Someone was hoping for rescue. Someone was still alive. Days into their ordeal, Chris's phone was unlocked and used to connect to GPS. It failed, no signal. By the 11th day, Lisanne's iPhone was turned on 77 times. Most attempts lasted only a minute or two, checking for signal, hoping, waiting. The final successful unlock happened mid-morning on day 11. After that, the phones died, or whoever was using them stopped. But the camera told an even darker story. 1 week after the girls disappeared, the camera suddenly activated in the middle of the night. Between 1 and 4 in the morning, 90 photos were taken in rapid succession. They were taken in complete darkness. Just the camera flash illuminating brief, fragmented glimpses of something. Photo after photo of the night sky, trees, rocks, a makeshift path marker made from red plastic bags and sticks. The back of Chris's head, her red hair matted, dirty. A close-up of Lisanne's head, injury visible. Random vegetation, a cliff edge. Darkness, more darkness. The photos were chaotic, disoriented, desperate. Investigators theorized they were trying to create light, to find their way, to signal for help, or perhaps to document something. Some of the images showed what appeared to be trail markers, as if someone was trying to leave clues. One photo showed a mirror, possibly used to reflect light, but several photos were taken pointing straight up at nothing. Others showed the same rock from multiple angles. Why? To this day, no one knows. 2 months later, a boot was found. Inside, a human foot, DNA confirmed it belonged to Lisanne. Over the following weeks, more remains surfaced along the riverbank. A pelvis, ribs, bones from both women, all scattered, bleached white by the sun. 33 bone fragments in total. But here's what disturbed investigators most. The bones showed no signs of animal activity, no teeth marks, no scavenging. And strangely, several of Chris's ribs were still connected by tissue, even though they'd suppose